It all began with Coach Hank Stram's training grind, which had the Chiefs supremely fit for the season's opener in sunny San Diego. As usual, the Chiefs' defense swarmed all over the Chargers. And as usual, their favorite target was quarterback John Hadle. Hadle was forced into 4 interceptions, 2 by Johnny Robinson. Despite a painfully swollen passing hand, Len Dawson threw 2 touchdown passes to Otis Taylor as the Chiefs swept past the Chargers 27-9. The following week in Boston, Len Dawson rolled, sprinted, and passed the Patriots into submission 31-0. Len Dawson is the complete quarterback, a picture book quarterback, the AFL's all-time leading passer, a durable leader who had missed only 3 games in 9 years. And then suddenly, it was over. A torn ligament in his left knee twisted Len Dawson's future into a question mark. Quarterback Jackie Lee led the Chiefs to an early lead the next week in Cincinnati. But then Lee broke an ankle, and it was the Bengals who made the big plays. The Bengals won 24-19, and the Chiefs left Cincinnati in 3rd place and without their top 2 quarterbacks. The next week, the Chiefs hobbled into Denver. The starting quarterback position had passed to a young man named Mike Livingston, who had never before started a pro game. For 3 periods, 2 rugged teams slugged it out in a swamp. Finally, a perfect sweep sprung newly acquired Warren McVay, and Hank Stram had found a new way to win. Then came the home opener against the indoor Oilers. The opening handshake was the last sane event of the day. From now on, the record book will read, most fumbles, game. Kansas City, 10. The following week against Miami, Mike Livingston led the Chiefs to their 3rd straight victory with his first 300-yard passing day, including the longest play from scrimmage of the pro season, 93 yards to Otis Taylor, who pulled a muscle but was rescued by Robert Holmes. Then the largest crowd in Kansas City history came to see if Livingston could continue his startling success against Cincinnati. Livingston overcame his errors of inexperience and threw 3 touchdown passes, 1 to Gloucester Richardson, 1 to Mike Garrett, and 1 to Robert Holmes, who does everything within his power to make every play a touchdown. The crusher was applied by former Bengal Warren McVay, who skittered 80 tortuous yards to a touchdown, as the injury-riddled Chiefs closed the first half of the season by avenging their only defeat. The second half of the season began in Buffalo, where the famous O.J. Simpson got his first look at the famous Kansas City defense. Even more of a target was quarterback Dan Darrah. The front 4 dumped him 9 times for more than 90 yards in losses, as the Chiefs racked up their 5th straight victory, 29-7. Back home, Another record crowd saw Warren McVay's left hand knock out the Chargers as the Chiefs rolled to their 6th straight win. Joe Namath and the world champion Jets had also won 6 straight, and the largest crowd in AFL history jammed New York's Shea Stadium to see Super Joe shoot holes through the Chiefs' bulletproof defense. Sometimes he succeeded. More often, he did not. The other quarterback that day was a man named Dawson, who was ready to test himself against the Jets' tough pass rush. Dawson avoided the pressure long enough to throw 3 touchdown passes to Otis Taylor. The Chiefs had won their 7th straight, 34-16, and a national audience finally recognized that the Kansas City Chiefs were for real. Another record crowd welcomed their conquering heroes, who in turn welcomed the Oakland Raiders. The Chiefs' offense kept rolling as it had the previous week in New York. Len Dawson continued to throw touchdown passes. One more sailed to Otis Taylor. Still another to Frank Pitts. But the rest of the day was a nightmare revisited. The Raiders literally stole the game 27-24. On Thanksgiving Day against Denver, Len Dawson's knee was re-injured slightly, and the offense was having its problems. The defense saved the day. Emmett Thomas intercepted and flashed 47 yards to a touchdown. With time running out, Denver trailed by only a touchdown. Coach Lou Saban called for an onside kick. But All-Pro linebacker Bobby Bell was ready. Bell's touchdown wrapped up the Chiefs' 19th win in 20 games against the Broncos. O.J. Simpson had a second look at the Kansas City defense in the Chiefs' final home game. This time, Jack Kemp was Buffalo's quarterback with a problem. Late in the game, O.J. finally broke loose and tied the score. But place kicker Jan Stenerud kicked 5 consecutive field goals, which not only won the game, but set an all-time pro record of 16 straight without a miss. The regular season ended in Oakland. Each team scored only 1 touchdown. For the Raiders, it was enough to defeat the Chiefs for the 7th time in 8 games. Hank Stram became the winningest coach of the winningest team in AFL history because of an irrepressible drive to find a way to win. He built a team of infinite variety, from its opportunistic special teams to the longest and most accurate place kicker in football. He built a defense which led the league in virtually every category. Number 75, Jerry Mays, was voted the AFL's all-time best defensive end. Number 87, Aaron Brown, became one of the strongest defensive ends in the game. Middle linebacker Willie Lanier, number 63, is one of the best at getting to the ball, playing off the block, and then punishing the ball carrier. Number 51, Jim Lynch, is one of the most mobile linebackers in football. Bobby Bell was voted the AFL's all-time best outside linebacker. He is a collision looking for a place to happen. The Chiefs secondary has always had tough hitters. Rookie cornerback Jim Marcellus stepped right in. The Chiefs grabbed 32 interceptions, the most in pro football. Johnny Robinson, number 42, the AFL's all-time best safety man, had 8 interceptions, second best in the league. Number 18, Emmett Thomas, led the league with 9. Jim Kearney, number 46, became one of football's strongest strong safeties. Smart, aggressive, fast, he always seemed to be making good things happen for the Chiefs. He is the valuable but unsung kind of player every championship team must have. Hank Stram's revolutionary offense has caused pro defenses many anxious moments. Sometimes it really helps to have a quarterback who can run. Usually, however, the Big Five, Tyre, Hill, Buddy, Mormon, and Holub, facilitated the more noticeable parts of the game, like the forward pass. One of the more noticeable Chiefs was number 84, Fred Arbanis, the AFL's all-time best tight end. More often, the ball was thrown to a sticky-fingered wide receiver like Gloucester Richardson, number 30. Or number 25, Frank Pitts, one of the swiftest runners in pro football. And of course, Otis Taylor, the game breaker. As usual, the Chiefs led the league in rushing. Number 38, Wendell Hayes, was the battering ram. And then there were the mini backs. Number 6, Warren Motor Mouse McVeigh. Number 45, Robert the Tank Holmes. And number 21, Marvelous Mike Garrett. They are only 5 feet 9 inches tall, but they are among the game's most scintillating performers. December 20th in cold, blustery Shea Stadium, the AFL playoffs were underway. In the fourth quarter, a New York field goal tied the score after the Jets had been stopped 3 times from the Kansas City 1. On first down, Matt Snell had gained only 1/2 yard. On second down, Bill Mathis had been stopped cold for no gain. On third down, Namath had rolled right, and 3 Chiefs had crushed him. Then suddenly, Len Dawson and Otis Taylor turned the game around with a 61-yard explosion to the Jets' 19-yard line. On the very next play, Dawson hit Gloucester Richardson for the game's only touchdown. With time running out, Joe Namath faded to pass. The ball sailed straight for Bake Turner in the end zone, but Jim Marcellus leaped and grabbed his second interception, and the Jets' reign as world champions was near its end. With less than a minute to play, the Chiefs punted, and the Jets had one final chance. Suddenly, the only obstacle between the Chiefs and the Super Bowl was a team called the Oakland Raiders. The last AFL championship game. The old nemesis, Oakland. 7 losses in 8 games. Len Dawson tried to surprise the Raiders by throwing long to Otis Taylor. Nothing seemed to work. In the third quarter, Robert Holmes was nearly trapped for a safety. Third down from the 2. Again, Len Dawson tried to surprise the Raiders by throwing long to Otis Taylor. Suddenly, a 14-7 lead, and everything was up to the defense. Three times in the fourth quarter, a weird turnover set up Darryl LaMonica within striking distance. And 3 times in the fourth quarter, the Chiefs intercepted LaMonica. The final turnover occurred when Emmett Thomas grabbed his second interception and took off for the Raider goal. Thomas's 62-yard dash set up Jan Stenerud's clinching field goal, and the Chiefs had finally beaten the Raiders and had won their way to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs had played in the first Super Bowl game 3 years before, and memories of that day still lingered. Memories of that beautiful, hopeful day in Los Angeles when Hank Stram's Chiefs met Vince Lombardi's Packers, the universally acclaimed Team of the Decade. But this time would be different, as Joe Kapp and the Minnesota Vikings soon discovered. A decade of Green Bay Packer domination had long since ended. A new era had indisputably arrived. Green Bay Packers may have been pro football's team of the 60s, but Coach Hank Stram's Kansas City Chiefs had become pro football's undisputed team of the 70s.